You know, in the last few weeks, the battle against climate change was taken on further by the United Nations. At the UN Climate Ambition Summit, a handful of businesses submitted their green transition plans, and among them, the big boss of one of the world's largest energy companies, Spain's Iberdrola. Ignacio Galán, a real pleasure having you on the show. And Ignacio, let me start with this. I mean, you've just returned from the United Nations Climate Ambition Summit. And the leader of the UN, Antonio Guterres, he warned of, and I quote, the gates of hell. I'm wondering, Ignacio, is the world doing enough to hit the zero carbon targets?
The answer is, let be positive and negative. The answer, straightforward answer is no. The positive answer is that, but we are moving. 20 years ago, most people denied that the problem exists. Now the problem is that there are people which are saying, recognize that the problem exists, but they are asking for more time to make that happen. And my point is, like General Secretary of the United Nations, is the time is over. We need to do now.
And Ignacio, your company has invested more than $100 billion into green energy, quite a sum, but the critics say that the storage just isn't there yet. I mean, we saw with the war in Ukraine that we just weren't ready for renewables to replace fossil fuels. But Ignacio, given that very large investment you've made, how is that possible?
Well, in the case of Iberdrola, that is not true. So I think when we make our initial strategic plan 22 years back, when I joined the company, a part of changing the color from blue to green and to invest and to try to double the company in 5 years, we multiplied the company by 8 times. We had invested 150 billion, but we had already transformed all or most our hydroelectric power plant, existing hydroelectric power plant in Spain, in reversible. So now we have already a storage capacity in Spain and Portugal for more than 100 million of kilowatt hours, which is already enough capacity for powering 2 or 3 million electric vehicles. We are investing in batteries. I think in Britain, we are in Wiley, the largest onshore wind farm in Britain, is already it's been built a battery beside for storing the electricity this wind farm. We are already another battery, Harry Stannis or something else, which I think are large scale batteries as well. We are putting batteries in Ireland. We are putting batteries in the States. I think we are putting batteries in Australia. But in terms of large storage, I think in the Iberian Peninsula, we are investing a lot of money in this moment, in the last 20 years, in transforming our existing hydroelectric power plant in already in reversible, using as a motor and pump or using as generator.
And Ignacio, recently the UK had an offshore wind power auction, but no bidders came forward. I mean, you own Scottish Power. I'm just wondering what happened to that auction. What went wrong?
I think the first thing, UK has already a unique opportunity. It's a country with deep waters, with very, very convenient. I think 30, 50 meters deep, which I think that is very good. I think the distance from the offshore wind farm to the shore is reasonable. It's not like United States, which are 100 kilometers or something else, is more convenient. I think that is the reason why Britain has been the country has already built more offshore than any other countries. So what they has been making? They has been making just auction based on the previous price of the previous auction. And I think that was fine. I think they've been benefiting of the improvement of the technology, of the improvement of the efficiency, of the improvement of the learning curve. That's fine. But unfortunately, so the thing changed. I think is not any longer. The steel is costing $300 per ton, is $1,000 per ton. The copper is not any longer at the price it was, is multiplied by 2 or by 3. There are not already enough semiconductors, and the price of semiconductors increased tremendously. The labor costs increased because of the inflation in a huge manner, and the rate of interest has already moved from almost nothing or 1% to 5% or even more, and the conditions with their banks are already fixing for providing the financing is more costly, and all those ones makes that the price cannot be any longer diminishing as they were already during the last few years.
Ignacio, let me end on this. China, it leads the world in combined onshore and offshore wind power. How do other countries compare, and what do they need to do in order just to compete with China?
Well, I think I think let's talk our sector. The first thing I can tell you is that we have not much depend on China, with the exception of the PV panels. So I think we need already a huge investment, and we need already to have already a supply chain. So, and the supply chains, in the case of Europe, we have a good supply chains for hydroelectric. We have a good supply chains for wind. The fact, I think the last recent speech of the State of the Union of the Ursula von Leyen was already precisely commenting on wind technologies. Europe has been leading these technologies. We are very good companies making that one. But unfortunately, in solar, we have not made much. And I think the Chinese has already got almost 90% of the 95% of the global markets.
Ignacio Galán, the big boss of Iberdrola, thanks for your time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much for your always intelligent question. Thank you.